Hi everyone! Today's 20-minute class is going to be an energizing flow. We're going to start off at the top of the mat with your feet around hip width apart. Really trying to lift all 10 toes off the mat. And then keeping your toes really spread apart as much as you can. Start to ground your toes back down one at a time, really spreading them and using the toes to kind of grip your mat. Okay, so rooting down with your feet. Lift up through your kneecaps, strong through your quads, through your glutes, long waist, standing up nice and tall, crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. Roll the shoulders back and down and reach those fingertips down towards the earth. Closing your eyes down, taking 3 full breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. 2 more inhales through the nose. Exhales through the nose. Beginning to settle into your practice. And then maintaining these deep breaths, start to blink your eyes open. On the next inhale, let's bring the arms up overhead, drawing a big circle here. Palms touch, look forward or up towards the hands. Exhale, pressing your palms together, draw the hands down through the center of the chest, through that midline, back in front of your chest. 2 more like this. Inhale, big circle with your arms. Long through both sideways, looking forward or up, and exhale, draw those hands down, press the palms together using the strength of the arms. 1 more inhale. Exhale, draw the hands back down to prayer in front of your chest. This time, big circle with the arms again. On the exhale, bring your hands down through your heart center, but at the same time, dive forward, chest leaning forward. If your hamstrings are tight, you can bend those knees. Coming into a forward fold Uttanasana. Now, if you feel like your hips are tight here, you can bring the feet a little bit wider, about hip width apart. Bend those knees, let your chin come towards your chest. Take opposite elbows, swaying here side to side, releasing that lower back, releasing the shoulders, releasing your head. 3 breaths here. Just dangling forward, bringing a bit of blood flow back to the brain. And then taking or releasing opposite elbows. On the inhale, taking a halfway lift, fingertips to your shins, flat back. Think of a 90-degree angle here, reach your chest forward, spine long, backs of the legs long. Make sure you don't lock out through those knees, so maybe keeping a slight micro bend here. Then exhale, fold forward, bend your knees, let your chin come towards your chest, Uttanasana. 2 more like this. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Opening through the hamstrings, through the spine, through the whole back body. Exhale, fold forward. 1 more inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold forward. Keeping your left hand on the mat, bring it to the center of the mat. Keep your knees bent. Think of that halfway lift, lengthening your spine. On the inhale, bring your right arm up. Draw that top shoulder back. Open the chest, maybe looking down or looking towards the right, or looking all the way up towards that top hand. Full breath in here. You can start to straighten through your right leg if your hamstring's okay. If your hamstring's tight, come up onto those fingertips. And then exhale, release your hand back down, other side. Inhale, bringing your left arm up. Keep your knees bent first. Maybe reaching those fingertips up, looking up. Maybe straightening that left leg. 1 full breath, and then coming all the way back down. Let's do 3 more. 1 breath, 1 movement this time. Each time just replacing that hand to the center of your mat. Inhale, right arm up, right leg maybe straightening. Exhale, lower it back down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left hand back down. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, coming all the way back through center. You can come back to that Ragdoll pose to release if you need. Shake it out. Release the opposite elbows now. Let's do another halfway lift here just to reset that body, reset the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands. On the next inhale, step your right foot back, big step back. And we'll start by lowering the back knee down. You can bring your hands to the outside, towards the outside edges of your mat. Make sure that front heel is underneath your knee. Long spine, lifting your chest up, shining it up towards the ceiling. And then on the exhale, sink those hips down, stretching through your right hip flexor. Keep lifting that chest up and sinking your hips a little bit lower. You can use 2 blocks here if your hips are a little bit tight. One more breath. And you can just stay here. Otherwise, starting to press down into that front foot. On the inhale, bring both arms up overhead. You can sit up if your hips are tight. You don't have to sink so far down. Really reaching those fingertips up towards the ceiling. Maybe tucking your tailbone under slightly to lengthen through that right hip flexor a little bit more. And then exhale, sink those hips down. Inhale, reach those fingertips up. Exhale, sink your hips down. Inhale here. On the next exhale, start to bend your elbows. Think of your cactus arms here. 90-degree angles here with your elbows. Make sure you don't just flare your ribs out. So keeping those ribs hugging in, zipping up through that lower belly. You can start to draw your shoulder blades together behind your back. Lift your chest up, maybe starting to shift your gaze up towards the ceiling, challenging your balance. At the same time, still sinking those hips down, opening the chest. One more breath here. And then coming all the way back through center. You can come into a half split here now. Start to straighten through your front leg. Flex your front foot. If your hamstring is really tight here, bend that knee. Use those 2 blocks on either side of your leg of your knee. Just keep that knee really bent, lifting your chest or reaching it towards the toes. Then exhale, maybe folding a little bit further forward or straightening your left leg a little bit more. 2 breaths, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly inhale, come all the way back to that crescent lunge. You can tuck your back toes under, you can keep it untucked, but keep your right hand down onto the mat or on a block. Next inhale, bring your left arm up, reach it up towards the ceiling, finding that twist like we did before in that forward fold. Draw that top shoulder back, open the chest. Maybe looking towards the left or looking all the way up. Reach those fingers up towards the ceiling. Keep sinking those hips down on the exhale. Full breath in. Full breath out. You can keep that back knee down. If you like something a little bit stronger, start to lift your back knee off the mat. Think of drawing that kneecap up so your leg is nice and strong. Don't let that left hip pike up. Keep it down. 2 breaths here. And then slowly lower your back knee all the way down. Use your left hand to guide you up. Push up, push down into that front foot, coming into a revolved, another version of your revolved crescent lunge. Reach those left fingertips towards the back, right fingertips towards the front, finding that twist from your navel center. Again, don't let that left hip hike up, keeping your hips square. Stay here or flip your front palm. Sweep the sky with that right hand, maybe bringing your left hand to the back of the thigh. Long through that right side body, tipping back. Lift your chest up towards the ceiling, looking back or just looking up towards the ceiling, finding that balance. 2 breaths in and out. Full breath in. On your next exhale, you can windmill your arms down, frame that front foot with your hands, lift your back knee, and then step your right foot forward to the top of your mat. Come back to that forward fold. Shake it out. Rest here for a moment. Two breaths. And then coming to your other side. So coming into that halfway lift again, just to reset. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. This time, big step back with your left leg. Doesn't matter how many steps you need to get there. Lower your back knee down. Bring your hand to either side of your foot, finding your blocks if you need, finding that half crescent lunge, sinking your hips down, long through that left hip flexor this time. Lifting the chest, broadening through those collarbones. Sink those hips lower. 2 breaths in and out. In and out. Staying here or using the strength of your legs, push down into that front foot, rising up, sweeping your arms up overhead. You can come up first, finding more length through that lower back instead of just sticking your ribs out and dumping into that lower back. And then slowly you can sink your hips a little bit further down. Reach those fingertips up, sink your hips lower. Staying here. Or on your exhale, start to bend your elbows, cactus arms, draw shoulder blades together, open the chest, look forward, maybe lifting your chest up towards the ceiling. Exhale, keep sinking those hips lower, finding a bit of a back bend, opening through that heart space. Slowly inhale, come all the way back through center. Exhale, bring your hands back down onto the mat. Straighten your front leg this time, flex that front foot. Bending your knee if you need, long through that chest, through the spine, reaching it forward towards the foot, towards your toes. Draw that right hip back. 2 breaths. And straighten your right leg with every exhale. Using your blocks as you need. And then lower your right foot all the way back down. This time left hand flat onto the mat. Inhale, peel your right arm up and back. Draw that top shoulder back, open the chest, find that twist. Right hip down, sinking those hips down. 1 more breath. Keep reaching those fingertips up. Sinking the hips down. Staying here. Or tucking your back toes under, lifting your back knee. Draw through that kneecap. Strong through the legs. Keep sinking those hips lower. 2 more breaths. 1 more deep breath here. And then lower your back knee down. Staying here or finding that deeper twist. Reaching your right fingertips back this time. Left fingertips reaching forward, twisting it here towards that right knee. Reaching back. Keep hugging that lower belly in. 1 more breath. Maybe staying here or flipping that front palm, bringing your right hand to the back of that thigh, just as far as you can reach. Long through that left side body, lift your chest, looking towards the right side or looking all the way up. 1 more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to prepare. Next exhale, bring your hands back down, framing your front foot with your hands, lifting your back knee up. Big step forward with your left foot. Come back to that ragdoll, shake it out. 2 breaths. Coming down into your squat for a moment. Bring your hands down onto your mat. Toes pointing out slightly and then sink those hips down. It should be feeling quite good for your hips now, for your glutes. Sinking those hip bones down towards your heels. You can stay here with your hands on your mat or you can bring your hands to prayer for a little bit more leverage with your elbows, pushing those knees out to the side. Drawing the tailbone down towards your heels. Push your chest forward, reach it up towards the ceiling. One more breath. And using the strength of your legs on the next inhale, start to push the mat away with your feet. Bring both arms up overhead, drawing that big circle. Palms touch, look forward or up. Exhale, Samastiti, hands down through heart center. 3 breaths here.
and then slowly you can wriggle your feet back in, hip width apart or together. Let's come into one balance pose. We've done a lot of hip opening, so now we're just going to do a reverse action, a bit more of a closed position with the hips and the hamstrings. Okay, so we'll start off by shifting the weight over towards that left leg. Pick your right foot off the mat, and today you might just be staying right here, just working on standing on that one leg. Or you can hug your knee in towards the chest, interlace your fingers underneath that knee. You can stay here. Or you can squeeze that knee in towards your chest, deepening that stretch through your hip, and maybe this is already feeling quite good for you. You can choose to use a strap or just use your hand. Bring that left hand over that foot and to the outside edge of that right foot. And then your right hand will go onto your right hip. So you might just stay here. I'm going to come into a bit of a twist as well. So option one is to just start to bring that foot kind of across your body, or just stay here and then bring your right arm behind you, or just your right elbow behind you. Option two is to get more of a hamstring stretch, so start to push your heel towards the front. Doesn't matter if your leg doesn't straighten completely here. Okay, and then stay here, or start to reach back with your right hand now, just like we did before in that lunge, finding that opening through the chest, that twisting, that ringing of the spine. Keep your core active. Maybe you can push that heel a little bit further forward, straighten your leg a little bit more, finding that stretch to the outside edge of that right hamstring. One full breath here. And then you can slowly bend that knee, come back through center, release and shake it up. Coming to the other side. So this time, shifting your weight into your right leg, hugging that left knee in. If you can find that balance, you can stop at any stage. Just working on that focus with your balance, squeezing the knee in towards the chest, staying here, or grabbing a hold of the outside edge of that foot with your right hand this time, left hand on your hip. You can point that elbow back, stay here, or we can reach your left hand back. We can start to kick your foot forward, straightening that leg as much as you can. Remember, the main focus isn't that you can get your legs straight, but that you maintain that twist and maintain that balance. One more breath. And then you can slowly release. Come back through center and shake it out. Okay, now let's do one salute to the sun salutation A to finish and just to reset the body. So you can shake it out first. And coming back to the top of the mat, feet hip width apart. Next to inhale, big circle with your arms. Palms touch looking forward or up. Really reach those fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, swan dive, open your arms, open the chest, folding forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, step your feet back to that plank. You can stay here in your full plank. You can lower your knees down in your half plank. And then exhale, finding a chaturanga. Wrap those triceps in, squeeze your elbows in towards your ribs, lower your chest and belly down into your back bend baby cobra, or your upward facing dog. And then exhale to downward facing dog. Let's stay here for 5 breaths. You can shake those hips out, pedal your feet out. Taking as many movements as you need. And then once you finish those 5 rounds of breath, you can bend your knees, look to the top of your mat, exhale, walk, step, or hop your feet to the top. Finding that forward fold again, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reverse swan dive, opening those arms, reaching those fingertips towards the ceiling. And then exhale, Samastiti, hands down through heart center. 3 breaths. Slowly blinking your eyes open. Hopefully now you're feeling a little bit more energized and ready to tackle your day. If you have any questions, any comments, feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.